Hey guys, it's Maymay. And the other day we made this adorable bunny treat box, and I said I could turn this into a carrot so easy if y'all would like to see that. And you said you would like to see it, and who am I not to do what I said I was going to do? Anyway, let's turn this into a carrot. Let me show you how we're going to do it. So we're going to build the box the same way, okay? So we're going to take a piece of cardstock. This is black, and this one is 8.5 long by 5.5 tall. Just like our first box that we did, we're going to do it exactly the same. So the first thing we want to do is on our 8.5 inch side, we want to score it at 4 and at 8. Now I'm going to link the original project that I did in the description here for you guys. So if you want to go watch me make it where I drew the lines out and everything for you, that'll be in that video. But for this one, I'm just going to score and keep moving. All right, so now we're going to turn this into our scoreboard. And now we're going to score one end at 4.5. That will get me a 1-inch base. Okay, so score this at 4.5. And then you guys know me, I'm going to turn this around because I need a 1/2 inch score on this side. And I struggle trying to get a 1/2 inch score over here. So instead, I'm just going to come in 1/2 inch to 5 and score it there. And that actually becomes the top of our box. Now what I want to do is I want to flip this guy over and making sure, it's on my scoreboard, making sure that my center score line lines back up with that 4-inch score line. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to score at 2 inches, but only down to my 1-inch spot, okay? My 1/2 inch is down here. This is my 1-inch spot, so I'm going to go 2 down to that 1-inch line. 4 is already scored, and now I'm going to score it at 6. Okay, and then 8 is already scored. So 2, 4, 6, and 8. And that's how we're going to do it. That's the first part of this box. Now let's do the next part. Now the next part is to cut away some pieces we don't need. And as you can see, there's a score line here, here, and down here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to miter cut off this edge. And what that means is I'm going to come in just slightly from my score line at an angle, like so. And then I'm going to cut straight up on my 1/2 inch score line to my little slice there because I don't need that little piece there. Again, if this is confusing the way I'm doing this today, be sure to watch the video that I've linked with my original because I really go into detail showing you how to make this box. So there is the little flap we're going to close our box up with. Now here at this 1-inch section, you can see those score marks there. I'm going to slice up on every one of those to that 1-inch mark. So I'm just going to slice to the 1 inch. I'm going to slice here to the 1-inch mark. And the same here. And that will be the base of my box, okay? It's also going to help me to measure out where I need to make my next score marks. All right, so with my flaps all cut and at the top, I'm going to use my ruler and a scoring tool. I'm not going to use my Teflon for this one, though. I'm going to use one that has a smaller bead on the top so I can get a crisper score because I'm not putting anything behind this. I'm just going to score it on my work surface. And we'll tell you, you could put a notebook or a mouse pad or anything that has a little give behind it and you'll get an even better score. So what I've done here is I've lifted up this top little flap and slid my ruler into the slice. And down here where my 1/2 inch mark comes off the page, I'm going to use that as my guide to make my first angle score. And this will get me a much better score line using this smaller bead than using my Teflon. My Teflon is just a little too chunky. All right, so I'm going to turn it, and now we're going to score from that same spot to that middle line where they intersect there. So I'm just going to come over here and line that up and line up the bottom. So here to here, score. I don't need to cross over. I don't need to get into the 1/2 inch section. I just need to go to where the lines intersect. Just like so. So there's one angle. Now I'm going to turn it again, and you guessed it, I'm going to go to this flap. I like to slide under that flap. I think you get a more precision line up. So I go from there to where I just stopped on my last score line. So just bring that down like so. I'm telling you, once you make one of these, you can fly. These are easy to do once you make one. All right, and then the last one goes from that same point right off the page here at the edge. So just line that up and score. Now what I want to do is do all of my folding, okay? So I forgot to fold this piece last time. I'm going to fold it first this time. The little 1/2 inch piece, I'm just going to fold it and give it a little crease. That'll help in the end. I just forgot to do it last time, so just lay that one down. I need to fold my flap in. So just fold this little guy. If I can get that, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to fold these guys down. So 1, and then 2, 3. Do I sound like the owl from the Tootsie Roll commercial? 3 licks. Is that what he says? I don't remember. 4 licks. Okay, here's this one. All right, and then we're going to do all these angles. All right, this one's easy because we don't have to worry about it getting into our 1/2 inch section. So I'm just going to fold this and then crease, just like so. Now the next one, I only want to crease the score line. I don't want to get out here and crease. So you have to be a little bit fancier with this one. So I'm going to fold it, and I'm not going to crease down here. I'm just going to crease where my score line was and rub that down. And don't worry too much. If it makes a mark out there, it's not going to show when you're done. But I just did not run my crease all the way into this part. All right, let's do the next one. Same thing. Not creasing past that score line, just down here. And then the last one is easy because we don't have to fight with that. So we're just going to fold it and crease it. I'm telling you, I did this box easy, easy, easy. I didn't even look at measurements. I did this from memory. That's how easy they are. So a little glue on the flap. I don't want too much, just enough. And I'm going to leave that flap folded down. Oh, I forgot to crease my middle piece. That would help. Your middle line needs to be creased as well. And I forgot it, so make sure you don't forget that one. You probably didn't. You were probably screaming at me to do it, but I missed it. All right, so now fold this guy down and let that seal shut. Just like so. Give that a second. Then we can assemble the bottom of the box. These are so fun to make. Look how that does. It just, when you squeeze the sides, so you bring, I'm going to show you how to do it. You have it like this. You squeeze the sides, and it just works perfectly. Whoever came up with this originally, it's genius. I did link the video that I found it from in my last video. I can link it below as well. And then if you want to go watch the original, you can. Or at least what I saw was the original. I'm not sure who the actual original was. All right, so now I'm going to stand this up on my work surface. And I'm going to squeeze the top. Like it's like a coin purse. Remember old coin purses? And then put my bone folder in and press all that down to get it sealed nice and tight. Just like that. All right. So that is my self-closing box. Isn't it cool? But we want to make it a carrot. So here we go. Okay. So this square is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I need to mark the center of the bottom of this guy. And I'm going to use my center feature on my ruler where I have this 0. All you do is you place this down on your piece and you line it up until both sides land on the same measure. So here I've got it where it's landing on the same measure. My 0's in the middle, and I'm going to mark the middle. This is for those of us who don't like to do math. I don't even have to try to do math. Just use my center ruler and it works. But if you need to know that measurement, look, I'll just measure it for you. I think it is 2 7/8. No, 1 7/8. So that's the center, 1 7/8. All right, so now that I've got my center marked, let's make our carrot shape. So I'm going to bring my trimmer over, and from this corner to my center is where I want to cut. So I'm going to line that up on my cut line there and line my pencil mark down here. Okay, so I've got my point in the cut line and my pencil mark in the cut line. Then I'm going to sink my blade. I'm going to sink it in the middle. And I'm going to press up and down, and that gives me a nice, crisp, clean cut. Now I need to do the same thing. I'm just going to turn it and do pencil mark and point, just like so. Sink my blade, and there we go. Now I'm going to make 2 of these because I want my carrot to have a front and a back, so let me do that. So I got my carrot pieces cut, and let me show you where they're going to live. They're going to go right here on this point, and we're just going to accentuate this section. And I did this box in black to kind of make that be the shadow and kind of drop back. So I'm going to glue my carrot piece to the front and the back. I think I'm going to ink them first. I think that'll be cute. I did not do that on my last one, although I should have. I think this will be a precious addition, and it'll really make the carrot seem like a carrot. So I'm just going to use some Vintage Photo, just regular distress ink, and come around the edge and just ink this up. Now I'm going to try something else that might totally mess this up. I don't think it will, but it might. I'm going to take my ink pad, and to give myself kind of the stripy texture of a carrot, I'm going to drag this across. So I'm just going to do it like this, and wherever I get kind of those marks, that's going to be my carrot. Does that make sense? I think it does. So just drag this across and get that carroty texture. Just letting the corner touch here and there. That's cute. That looks very carroty to me, huh? Let's see the other one. I've already inked it, so now I've already done the edges, so I'm just gonna drag across now. Oh, that's cute. Cute, cute. I actually think I like this one better. I'm gonna add some little darker edge ones. Now, these guys get glued. Pick the one that is your favorite for the front. You can always flip this guy around after we do our tails, the carrot tail. Is that what it is? The green part, the fronds maybe? We're going to do that next. So I'm going to glue this little guy into my triangle shape at the front. It will not cover the entire triangle. It's going to sink in just a little bit and give you a little matte edge around it. Isn't that cute? It looks so carroty to me. All right, and now let's do the back side. When I say it won't cover the front, I mean it won't go to score line to score line. It's going to sit in just a little bit because of the size we cut it. It would give us just a little bit of a sink in. So if you're not going score line to score line, don't worry. You're not supposed to be. See what I mean by there's a little gap between the score line and the carrot? So that is our carrot front. And now we need to make our green piece that comes off the top. So here's how I did my practice one. By the way, let me show you the practice one. I think it turned out cute. This is my little carrot top, and that's what we're going to make. So I'm going to cut 5 pieces that are 8" by 1/4. So 8" by 1/4 of an inch. So you'll just slice them just like this. And while I'm just going to do another one, because if you're going to make multiples of these, that'll be fine anyway. But I really will only need about that much of it to use to wrap around these guys. But I can use the difference in a couple more that I'll make. All right, so here's what I did. I simply took 5 of these and folded them in half. So reaching to the top. And I'm not folding them right on top of each other. I don't mind if they have a little angle like that because I want it to kind of flare out a little bit. So I'm just going to take this to the top and just kind of line them beside each other and crease them. Pretty simple. Do that with all 5. You can do more if you want it fuller. I just thought 5 was a good number. You could do less if you didn't want to use that much paper. You make your carrots like you like your carrots. And you guys probably have a million ideas for doing this part. This is just what came to my mind because I'm a paper user. I like paper. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy and put a little bit of glue here at the bottom. And I'm going to line another one up with it. Something like that. Just right beside it. Okay, glued together at the bottom. Then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing. And you guessed it, we're going to just do this with all of them, just gluing them together, making kind of a fan. I'm going to turn it over and do another one. I don't want to make too wide of a fan because I want it to be like a carrot frond, which kind of goes straight up. So I'm not going to fan out too much each time, just a little bit, even to where they're touching is fine. That feels like a good fan distance. All right, and now to close the end off, I want to put a little glue here. I'm going to take my little extra piece and lay it there at the bottom. And this is going to create kind of a cap for us. So I'm going to glue it here at the bottom. Then flip over and glue on the back. And just wrap this into that glue. And I'm just keeping the edge straight. Don't worry about any glue that's showing. All that's going to dry clear and matte. All right, and then I'm going to wrap it again. I wrapped this about 2 times. I want it to be nice and sturdy. So the other side, this will be my last time. A little glue. Then I'm going to cut away the excess. Now I'm just going to squeeze that down and let it get dry. And that's going to be my carrot top. Now I got one more step to do to it. Now I thought this was really cute. I'm going to curl these like you would paper ribbon, but I'm not going to curl all of them. They kind of give me some in the front and some in the back. I'm going to curl one to the front and not the back one, and then one to the front and not the back one. Basically, I'm going to curl every other one. And you do the way this is easier for you. I'm actually going to start here and curl that way because it works better for my hand. So that'll be the front, but it works better for me to curl it from the back side. And see how this one's kind of going to the front? I'm going to do that one as well. And I will curl them at different heights. I don't want them all to be exactly the same curl. And the more you do this, the more curly it gets. It's not exactly like ribbon, but it's kind of close. Get this one out this way. And then for these last ones, I just went and kind of did the top a little bit so they weren't perfectly straight. Just kind of curled those a little bit. Now let me turn this over. So this would be the front. Isn't that cute? And this guy will then go right here. We're going to glue that right there to the middle. And it doesn't interfere with our opening and closing of this box because this is one of those self-closing boxes that you just squeeze the sides to open. So as long as you just adhere this to the front, you'll be fine. Now I want to add a tag and maybe a bow to the top. I think that'll be cute. So let me work on the tag while this dries. So I'm going to use 2 stamp sets to make my tag. This one is called Hair Peeking, and I'm going to use the one that says Some Bunny Loves You. And I'm going to use the oval from my set called Stitched Shapes. I love this oval. It's perfect for a tag. So let me show you what we're going to do. I've got a piece of white cardstock and my tag first. Using my VersaFine Onyx Black, I'm going to ink my tag. If you're going to make multiples, just go ahead and do all your tags at one time, you know, and do all your poking of holes and all that stuff like assembly line, and this will go super fast. So there's my little tag, and then while I got my ink out, I'm going to go ahead and do my sentiment inside. Some bunny loves you. Just like so. Now I'm just going to trim this little tag out, and I'm not even going to worry about going all the way to the edge. I'm just going to leave myself a little offset. It's easier to cut that way. I call it bubble cutting, and you don't have to worry about getting right to that edge. Just going to cut this like so. I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole in this guy. I think I'll use the 1/8 inch hole right there. So that'll be for my little ribbon that I'm going to add. And I think I'll ink this tag up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take my baker's twine and wrap it around the little carrot top like so, and kind of let it nestle behind it between the top of the box and the frond. See how that nestled back there? That'll work just fine. Then I'm just going to put my little tag on, and I'm going to tie a bow. So there's that. Let's tie this little guy up. All right, I got a little bit too much. I'm going to trim some of that off. And that is my little treat box. This is cute, y'all, and this is super easy to do. That little carrot box. Look, if you give a carrot and a bunny, look how cute they are together, the bunny and the carrot. Y'all, I tend to find a box like this every year that I turn into these kinds of things because it's so much fun. Tell me what you might challenge me to do next. I don't know. Could we do a lamb? I don't know. Tell me what we might could do next. I think it's super fun. So there's your carrot box. And by the way, the back is also carroty. Isn't that adorable? I hope that answered your question of how to turn it into a carrot. That's how I would do it, and I think it turned out super cute. Hey, thanks so much for watching. By the way, I cannot wait to see what you guys are making with this idea. So head to my customer gallery at maymaymadeit.com and share with me what you're making. I love to see what you guys are doing whenever I put out a video like this. You guys always take it in so many more directions than I can even fathom. So I can't wait to see it. So thanks so much for being here today. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.